on time. Hey,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Hey, Elizabeth.
And hey, everyone. See everyone in the chat. Hard Killers. I think you were the first, maybe not. Yep, first to comment. And Lou and Tiffany.
We're 5 seconds early, Elizabeth.
We were not 5 seconds early. I clicked the
Oh,
button. We were live.
we were just actually on time.
Yeah, we're just actually
Okay.
on time.
All right. Well,
Okay, so how did we come up with this topic of like, what if you're prompting it wrong?
well, because despite the advancements that we've made with the LLMs,
Mm-hmm.
despite the sophistication we have gotten in our promptings and whatnot, we're still frustrated sometimes, and we're still not getting exactly what we want in the moment. And I think one of the things you and I have encountered is this very basic concept of interviewing the AI,
Mm-hmm.
asking the AI what it thinks about things. And, I think you and I have both gotten laughter from that back in the day when we told people that's what we did because they thought it was just ridiculous. But as well as I, we can write in the same genre, but we have different words that we use to describe different elements of craft. And what we say, we know what we're saying, but the LLM might not. And so, I think we've kind of taken that a step further because both you and I are complete control freaks. And so we'll ask the LLM what it thinks, and then we take what it tells us, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
But what we're actually doing is we're still prescribing, okay, now do this, now do this, now do this, when in reality, we should be sitting on our hands and kind of teasing out from the LLM as we go through these different iterations is, okay, now what would you do? Now what would you do? And leading us to maybe think that maybe we should just let the LLM do its thing instead of trying to interfere, and maybe we'd get more of what we wanted.
Yeah, I think that a lot of us come to prompting LLMs or prompting ChatGPT, Claude, and stuff. We come with preconceived notions of how to write a book. And we basically take the human way of writing a book and we like juxtapose and put that on top of the AI. And that might not actually be the way that the AI would actually write a book.
And
So,
none of us write a book the same way, so I don't
no,
know why we would expect an LLM to just know how we do it.
exactly. So, without further ado, I guess I'll go ahead and share my screen and show one of the interview questions that we asked GPT-4. And you guys can take a look at that in Playground. And I promise this is going to get really fun really fast. So I'm going to add to the stage, and there's like a little preview that we will be visiting ChatGPT, but give me 1 second. I'm going to come over here to Playground, and that very same thing that we were talking about. Let me zoom in here. By the way, the notes are in the description. I just want to make sure that that made it bigger. That made the text bigger so people can actually read it, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right. So, very simple question. If an AI had to write a novel, what are some unique ways the AI could do so that a human wouldn't necessarily think to do? Now, I had my temperature at 1. I gave it plenty of maximum length. This is in Playground. I'm using Turbo. And it actually gave me some things that started to make me think. So, here's a data driven plot development. I've never really like we've done some plot outlining stuff, some crazy stuff in the past, like chapter types and everything like that. And I remember when I did chapter types, people were like, that's bonkers. Why would you think to do that? And I stumbled on it from like a word that it said. This actually makes me more excited to do some different things of asking it to, I don't know, tell me the data driven of whatever about the like why is this outline better than other outlines?
Yeah. And we know that the LLM has absorbed lots of fiction,
Mm-hmm.
even stuff that it maybe shouldn't have. But we know that it has a lot of data that's not just going to be in the Creative Commons type area.
Right. And again, we want to emphasize that the AI does not think. It's always going to predict the next word, but you can kind of find out the stuff that it was taught to put those words together. That's to see what information it has.
Mhm.
We know that it can mimic style and imitation and all of that. Merge the narrative depth and psychological insight of Virginia Woolf and the fantastical elements of Neil Gaiman. That's interesting. Um, we've experimented with this in the FFA, the idea of a multi-threaded storytelling, asking it to do plot A, plot B, plot C. It can actually do that. when it's planning out a plot. And I think Stacy actually has a whole class on that, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. Nonlinear narrative structures. I've never asked the AI to write non-linearly. Have you?
No, because I don't think non-linearly. So I so I would not know what form that would take.
Right. I mean, we've all basically been like, here's the outline. Now write scene 1. Now write scene 2. Now write scene 3. This also kind of lends itself to like some different theories we have about making the tent pole scenes and then asking it to write the scene in between. I know Harper has had a lot of success with that, and that's a technique I want to test out too.
And I do like that concept of the choose your own adventure. Those are, I grew up obviously reading those. I think it's Goosebumps if you're of the newer generation. But this idea where, you know, you have this issue and you can choose path A and path B and see where the story takes you. So I think that these creatively as an author, these create a lot of new opportunities for things that we can be doing not only with our fiction, but potentially things that maybe supplement our quote unquote linear fiction, just different ways to bring people into our ecosystem, so to speak, as individual creatives.
Yep. And then here we have this global collaboration. This is kind of an interesting part here. Oops, sorry, number 5, where you can ask the AI to consider this is for a global audience, or making sure like cultural references and things like that. There, you have to be careful because there are some biases and everything. But a few weeks ago, I was in St. Croix and I actually got to prompt and I asked it what bush tea was, and it responded what bush tea is about. In Caribbean and African cultures, they're brewing herbs and things that are locally grown in their garden. And the people in the room validated the answer, and yes, it was correct. And then we use that information to influence a scene that it was writing for a novel, and it was actually able to pick up those content, that information and everything, and work it into the scene. So that was kind of neat. Number 6, this is what we're going to actually play with today at the beginning. Cross-media integration. Now this one's actually saying the AI could integrate various media forms, but we're actually going to use media forms for prompting. So we'll do that. And then finally, here's this real-time plot adjustment based on reader feedback. Now, this is kind of an interesting idea. This is kind of like tying in with what I want to do for the future of Rexy this summer, where you can write in real time with AI.
Right.
Where the assistant's just kind of like reading your writing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, there's this serialized tweets, interactive apps, cloud-based novels. So yeah, we have lots of different methods we could explore here. And do we want to start getting silly?
I do.
All right. So we're going to hop into ChatGPT. And this was the first one I played with this morning. Now, there's an important part here. I have memory off right now, but I'm going to show you what this thing actually did. And this is kind of crazy. If you go into your settings, you do have to be a subscriber, so you have to pay. And then it was under personalization, and then your memory. If you turn on your memory, this thing was automatically choosing what details it needed to memorize. So those of you who have been using ChatGPT, I think Natasha Sash just told me this morning, she's been using one long thread in GPT-4 to like write her book. And it's just been marvelous. And I think it's because of this new memory situation. I'm going to turn it on for real fast. I'm going to manage it so you can see that this information's already here from the previous chats that I was running. So if I clear that chat memory, which I think I can, because we're not going to use this right now. So
yeah, you can delete individual items, which I think is great. You can clear it all out, or you can just turn it off, which means it'll save everything that was stored in that memory. So that's why we love OpenAI. We have lots of flexibility in terms of what we can do. So.
But I already can't do the thing that I want to do. I want to export this and be able to bring it back. Like I have feelings about deleting this right now because I'm like,
way to be the contrarian, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Okay.
It is already insufficient for Elizabeth Ann West OpenAI.
All right.
So
I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it into my Notion.
Yes.
Not that I'm ever going to write these stories again, but okay, tell me in the chat, how many of you would like, oh, that's cool. It saves it as a CSV. I bet you they're going to plan to import it soon. You'll be able to export and import this as CSV. If not, ChatGPT, please get on that. I want to export a CSV and import it. Do we have any comments in the chat real fast?
Well, Harper, she likes to write non-linearly, and I think Harper likes to kind of like write chapter 1 and 3, and then kind of say, or scenes 1 and 3, and say, write a scene that happens in between that kind of connects them. And you and I had talked, kind of about that, there's no reason you couldn't write out your entire plot, your main plot. And then, if you wanted to add a subplot, use that as your fill in, and write your subplot that way.
Yeah.
So
hey, Ian asked the question, does any of this stuff actually make more money than it costs? Yes. There are many people in the FFA who have written AI books that have made 3 and 4 figures on those books within 30 days. If you're using AI and you're already a writer, they're just using it as a tool to enhance their publication and everything like that. So, but that's a good question. Do you have the same experience, Ryan?
Yes, I enjoy making money. So that would be kind of a perk for me. So yeah.
And by the way, what I'm showing you, ChatGPT, this is $20 a month. That's it. All these features that I'm showing you right now, except for the memory import and export. So,
and I think because we've got some new people here that are finding us for the first time. I think it's important to reiterate, we do not necessarily advocate taking the AI whole cloth and then publishing it. There's a lot of finessing that goes in there. There's a lot of our own swing and interpretation on things, and likewise, you and I are both directors in our own sense. So whatever comes out of the AI are things that we have orchestrated and directed. It is part of our creativity, part of our IP. So
so I'm going to start a new chat real fast so that I can show you how memory works, because I have memory turned on and I have my memory blank. From the gallery, what's a story premise? Just anything to kind of like start off the ideas here going. And we'll wait a few seconds for people to kind of type. I will say Jen says that she's definitely making more than she's spending, even with all the fun AI toys that she plays with. So, but publishing is a skill. It takes a lot of practice. A lot of people try to make it off of just one book. Most publishers would never do that. You'd have a slate of books. I've published over 25 books in my career. Okay, so Harper is giving us some input. Here we go. Time travel, monster romance. All right, so let's watch what happens. Now, as far as I know, you can't control the memory, but I think you can. I don't think you can add to the memory either yet. I say yet, because I think this feature is going to change. All right, so write for me a character list for a time travel monster romance novel. Ready? Go.
Yep.
Write for me a character list. This is the do what how. Now, here's what's crazy.
I want some orcs.
Make the response. I didn't ask for orcs.
A monster.
Zilkor. I guess this is the muscular humanoid with reptilian features.
It's close. That's green.
Green. Yeah. So we have reptiles. Adjacent. Okay. Second in command is Rika Gordak, a shaman of Zilkor's tribe. Wise, cryptic, pragmatic. This is a lot of characters. How many romances are we going to have?
It's going to be an epic.
It's going to be an epic. Nora Sims, concerned for Alara's safety, but supports her decisions, fascinated by the new world they discover. Unknown, appears 25 in human years. She's a huntress. Oh, we've got the... Wow, this thing is
my goodness.
We got more than
we didn't ask for a series Bible here. Yeah.
Now, here's what's interesting. It didn't save any of this to memory, but it was doing that automatically earlier. So let me see. Settings. Personalization.
Jen is now throwing out that we turn this into a reverse harem time travel monster romance to account for the amount of characters that we have.
All right, write scene 1, make it a reverse harem. Let's see. It's supposed to like automatically save stuff to the memory. You know, I wonder if it only does that because I was uploading files to the memory.
Well, maybe. I mean, I think what Elizabeth is referring to is that we uploaded a audio file and asked it to come up with a story premise, and it was pulling in genre, names, tropes from previous chats that we had, and that kind of clued us into something's going on.
Yeah, this new thing when I ask it to write a scene is doing this weird thing where it's almost like a big cross between a scene brief and a screenplay and a novel. It's like it can't make up its mind because it's not in novel, it's not in script format. It's not in, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's basically like a dialogue stuff, and I don't know how to make it commit stuff to memory, but it was automatically doing it.
And Leland is saying that memory is not necessarily the output, it's the notes to itself on what you're doing.
Right. So maybe I can give it instructions. So let me try to say, save the important information about this story to memory.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can give it a command.
Actually, Mendy just had that suggestion.
It's doing it. Memory updated. And look, it's writing all this stuff right now.
Awesome.
Now, here's the problem. And this is where we learned it. If you start a new chat, anything in your memory gets pulled into that chat arbitrarily.
So if we started writing a Regency romance,
all of a sudden it gave us the character, and we didn't name the characters. It brought us the characters from the Cozy Mystery because that was stored in memory.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if a reptile crashes the ball and wants to waltz with Miss Bennett and Caroline Bingley.
If I start a new chat right now, because the memory is already in there. So we have, when I go to settings and personalization, this makes no sense where this is located, and manage, you'll see that all this information is here. Like we have a bunch of, it didn't save everything. It just saved what it thought was most important. So this is definitely kind of a new way of, it's clunky. It's clunky. It's definitely going to get better. It's never going to be this bad again, but it's clunky right now. So we have some information, and it knows the genre is reverse harem. So watch what happens with like an empty chat. And I'm like, give me an outline for a novel. And it's probably going to use memory. And look, it brought in reverse harem, romance, time travel, adventure. It's pulling in the information from memory. And we have Alara still going on and Zilkors. Isn't this crazy, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's able to keep some memory. But this can be a problem if you're using ChatGPT and your memory is on and you're trying to get it to do a bunch of different things, like your marketing and all that. Let me see what people's responses are in chat. The lizard is mine. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's great for making series. Limitations are you can't upload memory. You can put it in and save it to memory. You can tell it instructions to do that. I have a feeling that this feature is going to get more robust with time. But yeah, you could basically load your characters in there, say memorize all this stuff, upload it as a file, and then start getting outlines for like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and it's referring back to that memory that's in there. All right, I'm going to go back and turn the memory off just so we don't get lizard people and all the things that we're trying to do. Okay, so I have that off right now. And it'll tell you up at the top, memory off. Does it say memory on if you have it on? Let's see, memory on. Okay, now that's stupid. So if your memory is on, it doesn't tell you that the memory is on. It only tells you if the memory is off. So that's settings, personalization, and then the little toggle to turn it off. And memory is off. Okay. So that wasn't what we intended to show you. We accidentally kind of like figured that stuff out while we were playing. So here is an example of a chat that we were doing where I said, create an image of a crime scene for a cozy mystery that involves a garden. GPT-4 is now 100% multimodal. And Ryan, did you have anything that you wanted to say about this technique?
I mean, just that it's a lot of us are visuals.
Mhm.
We hear oftentimes that people need inspiration from Mid-Journey in order
Yep.
to write a scene. And so, I think we're seeing, this with Gemini, but I think as usual, OpenAI is ahead of the game. Is if you aren't a textual person, if you think in sounds or if you think in visual, this is a great way to start plotting, and coming up with your ideas. And I'll also add that that's the largest glove I've ever seen. It's like there's like a giant in the cozy mystery.
It's the size of I mean, it's perspective, right? It's the size of the magnifying glass there, but yeah, it's a big
Well,
gardening glove.
hmm.
Um, I also wonder if having images would help it to stay on track more. Sometimes it's difficult with text to really encapsulate everything that you wanted to know about the scene and to stay on track. And I wonder if images would help it stay on track more.
Possibly, I don't know. I mean, I think you would, potentially. I mean, I think a lot of it too is what the image description, how it would describe the image. So again, you'd
Yeah.
be going back to text, but if there's elements in there like the four-fingered glove in there that you wanted to point out, those are
Hmm.
potentially things that you could, pull out, tease out into the story.
Yeah. So then I asked it to make an image of a female sleuth amateur, single, quirky, in her late 20s, used to be a reality TV star. And we got this woman, and I love her. I love her coat. Um, I asked it, I tried to give it like the link to my Discord because I made the detective in a different but it just assumed that I needed to have a real estate agent as the detective. I mean, I think they look like real estate agents and a college student at all at the same time. I don't like this guy. So I uploaded my own detective and so you guys can see what he looked like because this one will take it to us. It was grittier. They made him look older. Oh no. Well, that would explain why that didn't work. Hold on a minute here. Let me come back here. I can open it from here. So this was my detective guy that I uploaded. I downloaded it and uploaded it. He's a little grittier. And they named him Jake Mitchell, Detective Jake Mitchell. And then it named the female sleuth Amelia Carter. And then it just went ahead and outlined it. Book one of the series, 30 scenes. So it has the crime scene. We ended up with this crazy about seeds. People were being killed over seeds in their gardening club. But I think it's kind of neat. Brian, you liked the acts that it did?
Well, I like that it just instinctively organized the story into four acts. I prefer to write into four acts because I like equal parts. I don't like that long act two. So the fact that it did that instinctively, and I think for the most part it followed, the tropes. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
kill anyone at the end of act two, but I think there was a break in. So there was a climactic moment,
There
or the end of
was,
act one. Sorry.
yeah, there wasn't anyone dead. The discovery happened at the beginning of Act Two with like some reports of break-ins. So you could
Yeah.
definitely beef up this
Okay.
novel
So.
or this outline. Do we have any chat? I'm just making sure that we have. Oh, 4X for the wind. Win. Looks like Janet Jackson meets Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I agree, Rick. So, we've been uploading files for a long time in the FFA. Ever since we got Code Interpreter, we were uploading um, fake ME reports and police reports and stuff, and getting it to do different things for that. So, pictures is definitely a new methodology, and this has been around for a while.
Mhm.
Now, let's show the crazier one. Do you want to preview what we did? The tool that we used to make the stuff?
Yeah, so we have been playing a little bit around with AI music, and some of you might be looking with Suno. There's a variety of different AI music platforms out there. I like Suno. I just find it to be the better of the generative AI. But what I like
Mhm.
about it is that you can actually write your own lyrics, whether you write poetry or you journal. or you want to have the AI write you lyrics. And then you can, of course, set the genre of music, the vocals. I mean, it's a whole other realm of prompting, because once again, you got to know the terminology to do. But it can be, if you think in song, or I know a lot of people write to a playlist. You can essentially create your own playlist based on mood, have the whole AI come up with a concept based on that. I'll also throw out, to those of you that are looking for ways to draw readers into your newsletter and other platforms, there's no reason you can't create a playlist to your existing books, and rather than link them to Spotify, create your own music based off of what you've got going. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and the possibilities are kind of endless. And we used it here to plot. So
yes, so we have two different versions that I'll show you guys off. I'm going to show you Moonlight Elegance. This was the first one that I did. I had to share the tab real fast so you can hear the audio. So here we go. Oh, that's not it. It's this one. Nope, not even that one. I suck at this. It's the woman's voice. So we use this one. And the lyrics are here.
It sounds like Jaff to me. This is what plays in my head while you write Jaff, Elizabeth.
All right. The other one that we used is this first one, Neon Paradise. Now you have the links to both of these in your notes. So if you click on, if I switch to this, did it change the tab in the, or no, it's still stuck on the other tab?
It's still stuck on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So both of these files, the MP3 files, are in the notes section on Notion. So this is open source because it's public domain. I created this with AI. You can use your own prompts so you can test it out. This is the Neon Paradise, the disco track that we use. In the sky. And Ryan said I had to do parrots, pina coladas, AI. Dancing to the rhythm, tropical in style. Pina coladas flowing, getting the party started. Everybody's moving, feeling lighthearted. AI on the dance floor, grooving with finesse, calculate. Okay, so you guys, we have the operatic, very opera waltz, and then we have this like funky electronic disco with parrots. Everybody good?
Grooving with finesse.
Grooving with finesse, indeed. Let me go ahead and stop the share. And I will present. Yes, I did have to pay $10 for the subscription in order to be able to download it. So let me stop the screen and then I will present so you guys can see what ChatGPT did with this. Are you ready? This is so cray. I'm excited. So, and back over to Suno. The tabs there, I have to share it by a tab if you guys want to be able to hear the audio inside of StreamYard. So, okay, so here's what we did. The first one, it ate my chat. Okay, there we go. The first one, we did Moonlight Elegance. I uploaded the MP3. You just use the little paper clip here. This was when we found out that it brought in Jake and Amelia from the Cozy Mystery because those were saved in memory. Oh my gosh, Ryan, now we have the lizard people saved. We should run the Neon Paradise again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So this is nuts. So I actually liked this. This was really cool for like a contemporary romance or whatever. They're dancing on Magnolia Lake because it had that the opera type. It's supposed to be enemies to lovers was the lyrics. And it has here, he's there. She says something like detective on a moonlit stroll, only if it involves your company. I couldn't resist following the music. She laughs. Then you have impeccable taste. And he's asking for a dance. And they're literally like on a dock of Magnolia Lake. Like I saw like Sandra Bullock. Like it just reminded me of like a rom-com. And then he's like, there's a development in the case. And she's like, I told you I don't want to be involved anymore, but I need your help. No one knows the town better than you. I was hoping tonight could just be about us. So it did this whole idea from this one song. So you could literally create songs for the different moods of your scenes and use that to impact the writing, which I think is just banana pants.
Hmm.
What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people do bullet journaling. They do
Mm-hmm.
poetry. I mean, just putting all of that stuff. I mean, taking that brainstorm essentially and using it to create music to set mood and tone. I mean, it can get you just in the mood creatively, but it can also help you write,
Yep.
to actually construct scenes or plots.
So once we realized the memory was an issue, I turned the memory off. And this one, it had the moonlit elegance. And I just did a prompt: write a scene from a novel between two characters inspired by the music. This is all it had. It had the song and then this instruction: write a scene from a novel between two characters inspired by the music. So it listened to the music, it gave a little preview. And then this one actually came up with, it's a ballroom with chandeliers. This is what I was originally wanting. And we have Isabella Montague, a young woman of noble birth known for her grace and beauty, and Lord Sebastian Blackwood, a dashing lord with a reputation for mystery and charm. What's crazy is, remember, this is enemies to lovers is what it's supposed to be. And, it actually did influence, I think, how these characters are interacting, because it put conflict in the scene no matter what. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Perhaps the truth behind those secrets. They paused in their dance as the violins held a high, lingering note. He studied her face, his expression unreadable. Would you dare uncover them? He asked, his voice low. She met his gaze unflinchingly. If you would let me. And then the violins continue, and it brings in the name of the song. So it's kind of neat that it's bringing in some of these details.
This is great too if you struggle with sensory details. We tend to
Mhm.
overuse sense of sight because it's the one that we use the most. But I mean, this does a fantastic job of bringing in hearing and tones and things like that. Jorge's asking if this particular software, the Suno, needs lyrics to work. And no, there is an instrumental version that you can just click that off. So Suno will write lyrics for you if you just say, like it did for us. It
Mhm.
also has an option, though, if you write your own lyrics, that you can put that in there and it will set that to music.
Yep.
And Atomic Elf is asking if we tested it with music without lyrics, and we didn't do anything instrumental this round.
I did actually, but I
Oh, you
didn't do
did?
a prompt with it. So I can.
Okay.
So this one is instrumental. So that one is instrumental. And I can download that one. So we could use that just as a download. So let me go grab that audio, and Whirling Hearts. That works. So it's instrumental. And you want me to do a purely instrumental one? That's the request.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to upload just the instrumental, which is Whirling Hearts. And let me go ahead and give you guys this as well here. So we'll do an emoji of a heart. Whirling Hearts instrumental. And then I'll put the file in on Notion for you guys. Upload Whirling Hearts. Okay. So I'm going to upload Whirling Hearts so you guys can hear it on there. And what do we want the prompt to be? Because I could do the write a scene. Do we just want that? Write a scene between characters?
How about we do hook and pitch?
Oh.
How about we write three,
Yeah.
and see if we can get let's see if there's what kind of diversity, if any, we get.
All right. Write 3 hook and pitches for a novel inspired by the music. Let's go gadget. So this is just instrumental. If you listen to it on the notes, it sounds very much like I don't know, it's like Victorian piano music is what I would describe it as, like early 20th century, early 1900s. So it's analyzing the music. This takes it a few minutes. But this is astounding that it can do this. Any other? Let me check the chat while it's working on hit
No,
this.
that's all we got for now.
Okay. Playing on the pianoforte. Yeah, exactly, Steph Pajonas. Man, this analyzing takes a while. Was it this long before?
No, but we're live, so it's going to take longer.
Of
It's
course. That's
going
like,
to force us to fill time.
oh, it was done, and then it like, nope, started again.
Well, we did ask for 3.
I didn't ask for 3. You asked for 3.
That's true. I apologize, everyone.
But I was obedient.
No.
Which is a rarity.
I was going to say that'll teach you.
Oh my gosh, I think it's in a loop. Oh no, you know what? It did 1, it did 2, and now it's doing a 3rd one. I think it's analyzing it unique each time.
Okay. Jorge's suggesting we go back and dance to the disco.
Yeah, it was. It was 3 times.
Saved by the bell.
It says that there's an error due to a deprecated. Detect the tempo. It's stuck.
Well, it seems committed now to figuring it out.
It does. I kind of want to put it out of its misery. Oh, I can do this for the analysis. Wave. I think it's confused because it doesn't have any lyrics. It is still going. It's coming up with all kinds of code.
Well, this would be interesting to know, because if that's the issue, then it's clearly only going off lyrics and not.
Well, let's try it again.
Okay.
And this time I will say in the prompt, I'll say that the music is instrumental. Instrumental music. So we'll try this again. Write 3 hook and pitches for a novel inspired by the instrumental music. I'm shocked that instrumental music broke it. Oh, now it's got it.
Okay.
So it may have just been a bad dice roll.
Yeah.
I think it just went down it decided it needed to do a pitch and tempo analysis, and it was like, I'm lost. Yeah. So this shows like the analysis here of what it did. The length.
No.
Nope, it's still got issues.
It's got issues with Numpy.
Numpy and Librosa.
Okay. In the heart of a desert kingdom, a gypsy dancer with a haunting melody in her soul spins a web of enchantment that ensnares the heart of a stoic warrior prince.
Yeah, then we have a ballerina.
She has to outmaneuver a malevolent sorceress, one clie at a time.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know that it actually picked anything up from the music, so you definitely need to have lyrics. Makes it better. Let's do a test with the neon, the parrots and pina coladas, to see if it does better with lyrics in it. So I'm going to use Neon Paradise this time, and I'll use that same prompt of write 3 hooks and pitches inspired by the music.
Okay.
So this actually has lyrics. So we're looking for parrots. We're looking
pina coladas
for
and AI.
And AI. If it's just going to analyze the lyrics. So it's going to listen to it. Interesting. You can listen to the preview here. Well, there's no AI or parrots in that one. Sound battles with DJs? Interesting. I mean, this feels very, it was picking it up from the name. But what's
And
strange, oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, and the 30-second, it that 30-second preview, I wonder if that's what it's truncating and it's just going off of
Yeah.
that.
When we asked it to do it before, this was kind of neat. So we said write a scene from a novel between characters inspired by the music, and that music is very much like electronica, like a dance club or whatever, and it picked up on that. Soft purples, and I don't think that there was any parrots here, but it was interesting that it seemed more influenced when we asked it to write a scene, you know?
But the song is called Neon Paradise too, so I wonder if that,
That's probably what's influencing it. We probably would
yeah.
need to rename it as Song, and see what happens there. But anyway, I think it's kind of neat that you can do different things here. I think it's neat that you have memory now inside of this. I think that this is only going to get better with the multimodal prompting and everything like that. And you can also use Suno to write music that inspires you and share it with your readers. And you literally just put in a prompt. So like the create right here, an infectious opera song about being trapped in an AI song factory, help. This is like an example. When I did Moonlight Elegance, if I click on it, it shows the prompt that we used. I thought it did. We used the prompt. The prompt was, oh, that's in custom mode. Let me go out of custom mode. A Regency waltz that might have been played at Almack's in 1817 that would be the score for an enemies to lovers dance. So I think it's still a cool new way to prompt AI.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see what we've got for. Could it also be working on some kind of interconnected recommender system? Example, people who like this sort of music like this sort of story. I don't think so, Ian. Looking at the analysis that it was coming up with, it just was like doing a bunch of Python libraries. I don't know. Um, I guess we could try it again. Do you want me to try renaming the file?
Just call it Song.
Just call it song. Okay. Let me do that real fast. I'll just duplicate it. Downloads. It's in FFA. While I'm doing this, if you want to talk about, you want to try to do the choose your own adventure before we wrap up today?
You want me to do it?
No, just like if you wanted to talk about it, like what you want us to try to do.
Well, I mean, I think, we're talking about different types of publishing models. I know Leland's been doing a lot with subscription models and things like that, and you blog your chapters. This is potentially a method that you could use to enhance reader engagement, is to give them a chapter. And I mean, you could essentially write a choose your own adventure, and that they get to pick after chapter one what happens next, and you basically do a crowd collaborative piece of fiction in your world, or something like that. I mean, I think in this world of AI, having community and engaging your readers and what you do is becoming all the more important. And so I think these are things not only that you can use from the creation standpoint, but also ways to create that community that's going to become increasingly important, because we know AI is just going to lead to more production and more content, which is going to mean more competition. So.
So yeah, it's completely hallucinating. The song. This one we did song. I just called it song.
She's carrying a heavy burden from her past. That's why she drinks pina coladas.
I guess so. So, I mean, it's really just like,
he was betrayed by a parrot, probably, and that created his emotional wound.
I don't think there's any parrots or anything. Now, obviously, if you convert it to text and you say, here's the lyrics of it, you don't need to have the song at all. Yeah, there's nothing in there about parrots or pina coladas.
Well, that's an idea. Why don't we paste those lyrics?
Sure. We can do that. Silent Whispers, that's the ballroom one. So I want this one. All right. Here we go. I'm going to hit all my things. Okay, so read these lyrics for a electronic disco song.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. All right, so I'll put it in a Tupperware container. I forgot to hold down shift. Lyrics. And then I'll put the prompt, which is write a scene from a novel between characters inspired by the music. So there we go. And wait, why is it called it Neon Paradise? Is that in the song?
Well,
in this Neon Paradise. It's right there. Okay. I was like, what?
I was going to say your memory was off too, which is scary.
Uh-huh. Cutting edge AI dancer prototype. You said AI on the dance floor. It's taking it quite literally that there is AI on the dance floor.
Well, let's groove.
Nova into a dance-off. Luna and Nova. I guess those are the AIs. You're incredible, Nova. Dialed the music to a fever pitch. Okay, so you can use AI to write song lyrics. You could have used ChatGPT, but now there's even Suno to make your songs for you, make lyrics and everything like that. I think it's kind of cool, but
yeah,
people might not find it to be as cool. It was a lot cooler when that's the thing about AI. I didn't think to test. I'll take this off for just a second. I didn't think to test like the generic ones. Like we see what we want to see when we prompt AI. When I prompted the Regency Waltz Ball and it started to write the Regency Waltz with Lord Blackwood and all of that, I wanted to believe that it was listening to the music. But really it was just picking it up from those two little words of like moonlight elegance. Same thing with Neon Paradise. So
well, but today it does that,
today.
Check back next week and it'll be writing operettas. So
and I think that there will be actually a point in time very soon, like you say, that it's going to, it already analyzes images. We know that for sure. Like it was definitely analyzing the image and like pulling information from that image into the story for the Cozy Mystery, because it saw the Victorian houses and everything. So I think it's only a couple of months before it'll analyze video and audio a lot better. And there's already AI tools out there that can analyze those things. The Descript actually will analyze videos and stuff and like automatically chapter them for you. Zoom now has it automatically in there. So it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we've though seen with AI is that it lacks the ability sometimes to extract sentiment. And so with music in particular, I think it can probably do like tempo and pacing. I think that's what it was attempting to do, was attempting to get sentiment based off of those things. So that will be the challenge, is tapping into that emotional resonance or whatever.
Yeah, how do people feel about it? All right. Do we want to do the choose your own adventure now and see about prompting that?
Sure.
Okay. I think we should use the memory that we already have in the ChatGPT with the monster romance.
I'd say we go, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to add it to the stage again. And this is going to be a new way of prompting. So I'm going to turn the memory back on because we have that. Settings, personalization, turn on the memory.
Should we check to see what's in your memory before it was the character list from your...
Yeah, I had stuff turned off. Like it wasn't adding to the memory. It's literally just like the time travel romance
monster romance. Okay.
Yeah, the monster romance. It doesn't have
reverse harem thrown in.
Yeah, with reverse harem thrown in. Why not? So I should probably go back to that particular thread, right? The time travel romance novel. Oh, it doesn't like me on that one. This is the one that has the outline for a novel, The Chrono Valley.
Because we were in a different chat when we got that memory thing. So this is just going to pull up the memory that's already in there. Yeah.
So I'm going to say, let's change that to a choose your own adventure style book. Let's see what it does. This was something that a lot of people wanted to know if the AI could do it. And I don't think it could do that beforehand. Now that's interesting. It's actually laying out what the chapters are. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I want to check the logic though. Present day, stone archway. Inspect the markings further or activate the portal by accident. So go to 1A, portal research. Jungle ruins. She examines the ancient markings and takes rubbings to study them. She sends the rubbings back to her lab. Go to 2A. Go to 1B. She activates the portal 1B. So it's actually even figuring out like how you could sequentially go through them. You know what I mean? Like if you inspect the markings further, so she examines them and takes rubbings to study them, and then she activates the portal cautiously, like she does something, then it takes her to 1B where she accidentally starts the portal.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if she goes to 2A? 2A. So she goes to the lab and then
examines the rubbings.
Returns to the ruins, then it takes you back to 1B, which is the accidentally starting. So it's understanding it's got to get her to this chapter. Even if she goes to the lab, it's still going to take her back to 1B.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's freaking insane.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Think about the way that you could use this just to brainstorm, like your plot.
I think this is probably a better way to outline mystery.
Yeah.
Because it would come up with the red herrings, right?
Yeah.
Oh my, wait, we have O's and P's and G's. Holy Toledo. Okay. I'm going to copy and paste this into the Notion document so that you guys have this so you can read it and verify it, because this is bonkers. Oh, continue generating. My bad. It wasn't done.
It's not done yet. It's only on chapter 5.
It's not done yet. My jaw is dropped. I want to outline all my stuff this way now because I want to decide what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. This is that moment where Claude was writing perfectly like me.
Harper's asking if you can tell it to do more than 2 options, and I assume you could. We didn't actually tell it to do 2 options, did we?
Nope. But I think it gets more infinitely complex when you start doing that, because it's doing there's 2 options, yes, but they're overlapping with each other and all of that. So
I almost wonder if this would be good for a layering technique. Once you have the 2 options, you can say add a third and have it go from there.
Mm-hmm. We're in Act 6, which is the climax and the resolution. These are the different endings. You guys.
What?
So hold on, I want to follow this train here, because like, let's look at Marcus's betrayal. It does. It has 6AA. Marcus. All right. Let's start. Let's just go through the path, shall we?
Wow.
All right. So Ryan, you choose your own. You tell me which way we're going to go. So
okay.
We're going to inspect the markings further, or we're going to activate the portal by accident. Which one do you want to do?
Let's just speed it up. Let's activate the portal.
We're going to activate the portal.
A2.
Bam, we're into the portal. So we need to go to 1B. The portal to the past. emerges from the portal disoriented and alone. Now we have to explore our surroundings, or we're going to find ourselves pursued by Krakar.
But I want some action, so let's
going to
do
be pursued.
C2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to go to chapter 2C. So then we go to chapter 2C, which is down here. Pursued, narrowly escapes a Krakar and stumbles into Zyklor's village. Do we want to agree to help the tribe with the mysteries, or refuse to cooperate and face exile?
I say she's like, no, sir.
No.
So
Okay.
let's.
No, sir. 3D.
She's like, I've
okay.
just been pursued by Zykor. I'm done.
Yep.
Get
We're
me out
exiled.
of this portal.
We're being exiled, but we're surviving with Gordak's help. So do we convince Gordak to help win back Zyklor's trust, or do we decide to return to the present day via the portal?
No, we're going back home.
We're going back home. Okay, so 4G.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to go down to 4G. Return. We're back in the lab and warns Marcus about the portal. Marcus agrees to shut down the research, or Marcus continues the research secretly. Marcus is crafty.
Yeah, well, let's do. I want him crafty because I want to get to his betrayal. Yeah.
So he's going to keep secretly doing that.
Yeah.
So 5N. Gee, Brucifit.
Holy.
5. Yeah, Harper, we're not doing 3 options.
Yeah.
5N. Marcus secretly continues his research, and then he activates the portal and enters the valley, which is 6AB, and 6AB is entering the valley, and it starts a new one. I didn't quite say what these are, so we probably have to say like
flesh those out. Yeah.
that was, I mean, it was sequential. It was
that's surprising to me. That's the impressive amount of narrative logic that it did.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, yeah, wow.
And now it's wanting to go to other chapters for, I guess, the endings or whatever.
A full frontal assault.
Yeah, I don't know about this. That's a plot line we did not get to. So we want to see this one, the AA or the AB, because we followed that plot line and we got to here.
Yep. But we don't get a 6AA. We just have 6A, right?
Well, it's not there yet. We're on 6G right now.
Oh, sorry.
We have a lot. It came up with 26 endings. Well, 28. Because there's one for each letter, and then there's the doubles.
It was like, we're not done yet. Yeah.
We're not done yet. And then it's like, go to 6J. Division in the tribe. And then go to 6V. So there was probably something else that we should have done. Go to chapter 6G. Sarin frees Alara and teams up with her. Let's see if 6G was about that. So if I come down to 6G, Sarin and Alara find refuge in Gordak's cave, forming an easy alliance. So it is where Sarin freed her. This is bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
What are the responses in the chat? I have to know. You could Groundhog Day this and have all the endings go back to the beginning. Yep. We're back at the start. This is, I'm still stunned by all of this. Okay, yeah, continue generating. We were on 6P. I'm just going to share this entire chat. Maybe I can't while it's generating. Oh, I can't while it's generating. Oh no, I broke it. I clicked too many buttons. Well, oh dear. I think I just restart it. or let it go. Um,
I've been watching too much Frozen with my kids. Sorry, because that, yeah, let it go.
let it go.
Let it go. Don't hold
Yeah,
it back anymore.
yeah. Elaine Canyon says, I think I found the answer to my kids running out of choose your own adventure books. Yeah, I'm stunned by this. I'm gonna take this off and I'll make sure that these notes get like at least the prompting and stuff gets to the notes section real fast. But
Yeah. Well, this is definitely a method that I can see a lot of utility for beyond just if you're writing a choose your own adventure, but just for brainstorming.
yeah, deciding where you wanted these to go. I mean, a romance, for
Hmm.
example, different date
Hmm.
ideas, different, tracks or whatever. And the architect in me is like, what if I made a generic, like, because like we talk about the plot things, what if we made a generic track and it's got to
Uh-huh.
like choose these scenes and things like that. So it picks a scene and that's what it's got to write for like the tropiness.
Yeah, I mean, I also see this as a pantser's tool as well. If you're a gardener and you're just writing beat by beat, and you just want a couple options, and okay, I'll go here. Now I'll go here.
Mhm.
So I see this fitting into a lot of different processes and workflows.
And I want to stress this all began with interviewing ChatGPT 4 Turbo of saying, what are some ways AI can write a novel that a human wouldn't think to do, but an AI could do? And it gave us those 9 different ideas. And we basically explored 2 of them. We explored the multimedia and we explored the choose your own adventure suggestion, the nonlinear one. There was a whole bunch of other ideas. When you prompt your own GPT, if you prompt GPT-4 on your own with the exact same prompt, it's going to come up with different ideas for you. Um, Click the button for the dice rolls, And if you also a fair warning with this research too, if it seems too good to be true, chances are it is too good to be true. The AI is not actually thinking or synthesizing
Yeah.
music. But it
And
felt
and
like
the
it.
moral of this live, Elizabeth, is you and I should stop prepping, because it's always the off the cuff random things that we find the most gold from. So
Yeah, I did not expect it to be able to do an entire choose your own adventure type outline.
no, no,
No.
no. And I can't wait to get off of the live so that I can
Go work on your mysteries.
bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone. Go have fun.
Click.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll see you in FFA Lab, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing boot camps, which it feels weird to even talk about this because this feels like a big breakthrough. Everyone wants to go play, so
Hmm.
um, let us know in the chat you want to go play, and we'll all just go play, and I'll catch you guys later.
Okay.
So
Bye, everyone.
bye. That's it. All right.